Good morning, thriving warriors. Okay, Google, what is the date?
It's Thursday, March 23rd, 2023.
Okay, Google, what is the time? Okay, Google, what is the time?
It's 6:02 a.m.
Finally, okay, Google, what is the weather?
It's 37 and clear. Today, it'll be partly cloudy with a high of 60 and a low of 37.
Okay, 23-degree temperature swing, about a 2/3% increase, or 66% increase. Again, here we are at Department of Career Services, where our goal is simple: to help you in your journey to Successville from point A to point B. We do it through a series of breadcrumbs. This is the first breadcrumb right here, this podcast. However, the real breadcrumbs, the important breadcrumbs, the valuable breadcrumbs are in the description down below. I think there's 14 of them. They include a link to our online course, the motivational video I watched to prepare for this, Jordan Peterson video, short little Jordan Peterson video, Daily Stoic video, Inc. magazine, short little story on how to become a better employee, better person, etc. There is a link to Baraka Church, to David Goggins, to Seth Godin and his daily blog, services we provide. You know the thing, there's a whole bunch of them. And our FABLE, our redoing of an Aesop fable. Today is The Fisherman and the Little Fish. We also have the TED Talk that goes along with where we are today in our 4-week course. So this is week 4, day 4, and we are doing Ignatius of Loyola, day number 2. Good morning, Diana. So let's get ready to get started. Metaphorical virtual seatbelt. Strap it on, cinch it tight. Next, get your coffee. I'm using French press again with my espresso cup. Boom. So, good cracker. Okay, let's see. Good morning, Diana. Good morning, Charlene. Charlene, how are things at Rain Man? Okay, while you're doing that, I'm going to proceed on to our next breadcrumb, which is the theme of today. So we have every day we have a new theme. You want to get from point A to point B. You want to continue on your journey to Successville. It's simple. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Everyone else is striving to reduce uncomfort, so they get distracted away from what the mission is. Just get comfortable being uncomfortable. I always chuckle to myself when people get in the car and the first thing they do is they have to move the seat back to be more comfortable for themselves, usually ignoring the person sitting behind them. So I make a conscious effort when I get in the car to move the seat forward. And that oftentimes gets a reaction from the driver of, oh, no, you can move your seat back. So, all right. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Try it out just for today. Try it on for size. Alrighty then, next is our daily attitude of gratitude. So write down in your book, so you have your pen, paper, you have your coffee, pen, paper, and write down in your book, I'm so happy and grateful now that blank. Now that what? I'm so happy and grateful now that, and then think about it. Ask yourself the question. Ask your brain the question, what am I so happy and grateful for now? Thursday, which means it's almost Friday, which means it's almost Saturday. So I have to do my email to prisons, prepare for Saturday. Boxable. Okay, that is it. Okay, TED Talk today. Again, recap, where are we at 5 minutes and 40 seconds in? Good. EJ, asking EJ for more bathroom tissue. What? I brought 9 rolls down the other day. How could we go through 9 rolls in 2 days? Also, I noticed in the laundry room, there's a box to the right of the dryer up on the cabinet that has rolls of toilet paper in it. Okay, so moving along. TED Talk, today's TED Talk. Once again, Ignatius of Loyola. This is week 4. This is now that we understand how we're on a journey to successful, to a better life, that it is a journey. It's not a sprint. It's not a marathon. And fundamentally, we need to answer 2 questions. Who am I and why do I behave as I do? And that's from a neuroscience perspective, not from a psychology perspective. In other words, what's going on in my brain on a subneuronic, I like that word, subneuron level, neurotransmitters, dendrites, how our memory is created, etc. How does my reticular activation system work? So we want to understand how the brain works, because if I get an idea of how my brain works, then I can dial in who I need to be right now. And I need to be different people. I need to behave different ways at different times to help me get to successful. I need to be able to wind myself up, self-motivate myself to keep going, and really to keep the dopamine constantly flowing so I don't lower the baseline. The baseline meaning when you first have, let's say, you hit a slot machine, you win. The amount of dopamine you get the first time is really high. God, it's great. And then over time, the baseline keeps going down, down, down. So every time you win, you get a smaller shot of dopamine, smaller shot of dopamine, smaller shot of dopamine. What I want to do is be able to keep my baseline up. So we learn about that, neurotransmitters. And that's in week 2, inside my skull-sized kingdom. Week 3, outside my skull-sized kingdom. How do I get other people to help me on my journey to successful? Because without other people, I cannot do it on my own. If I was given a bar of gold and told, there you go, here's a bar of gold worth $250,000. If I couldn't get anybody to accept that, I couldn't get anything done. So if I walked in the store and said, hey, can I trade my gold for this? And they said, no, that's not gold, or no, you stole it. What is the value of the thing to me? It's just a big, shiny, heavy object. So you have to get other people to do what you want. You want to go into a 7-Eleven store and give them Russian rubles. Give them Russian rubles to buy bananas. They're going to say, no, we don't accept rubles here. So you have to get other people to do what you want them to do. That is called power. All right. Next, so our TED Talk today is Practical Leadership, Ignatius of Loyola, Day 2. Let's move along to see what Seth Godin says. So Seth's thing is very long today. They will lose your data. The rules are pretty consistent. The easier it is to create and save a video or other file, the more likely it is to be lost or corrupted. The more important the data is, the more likely it is you'll notice when it gets lost. The harder it is to replace, the more frustrating it will be. So that's the rules of data. We're all creators now, podcasting, videoing, photographing, spreadsheeting, and we're building a foundation of valuable data as we go. Blah, 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 blah. When a conferencing app lost a video I worked really hard to record, I realized that trusting them was my first mistake. If there's a 1 in 1,000 chance that a file is going to be corrupted or simply lost, storing it in 2 places or recording it simultaneously in 2 systems lowers your chances of failure to 1 in a million. I will never trust them again, and you shouldn't either. Forewarned should be sufficient. Assume that the software company doesn't care nearly as much about your work, your memories, or your reputation as you do. Okay? So basically, if it's something important, make sure you have it backed up or you have it done redundantly. Okay, moving along to our fable. Our fable, the fisherman and the little fish. A poor fisherman who lived on the fish he caught had bad luck one day and caught nothing but a very small fry. The fisherman was about to put it in his basket when the little fish said, "How foolish." And the little fish said, "Please spare me, Mr. Fisherman. I'm so small, it's not worthwhile to carry me home. When I am bigger, I shall make you a much better meal." But the fisherman quickly put the fish in his basket. "How foolish I should be," he said, "to throw you back. However small you may be, you are better than nothing at all." Moral of the story: a small gain is worth more than a large promise. Okay, well, obviously, you should know by now that we take a different view of these fables because they were written at a different time for different people. The story is good, but it's not complete. It was written during a time when it was much more of survival mode for people. So this is how to survive. But here's what I say to you. Sometimes nothing is better than something. The little fish was of no value nutritionally. What drove the fisherman to ignore the fish? Why did the fisherman ignore the fish? Probably because that's how he acted in life. He got some good advice. He didn't ponder the advice. He just decided, no, I'm going to do the opposite. You tell me to do this. I don't believe you, so I'm going to do the opposite, and then I'm going to rationalize why it would be. The rationalization, of course, was something is better than nothing. But that's not always true, because if you can get people to accept something, they'll never get what they fully deserve. Because if you get them to believe something is better than nothing, then that's all you have to say to them. Hey, you're worth $10 an hour, but I'm going to give you $5 because something is better than nothing. Aha! Now it's starting to sink into your brain and see the other side. Further, there was no promise from the fish. What he said was factually true. He didn't promise, hey, I'll jump in the net the next when I get bigger. Give me a couple years and then I'll come back and you can take me then. No, he didn't say that. But maybe he was being literal when he said, I'll make you a better meal. Maybe he meant, I'll make the meal for you. Give me a break and I'll make you a meal. Not I'll be the meal. This is akin to the man who are his gain rather than saving it for plant. This is akin to the man who ate his grain during the winter rather than saving it for planting in the spring. Right? You plant your grain in the spring, it grows, you have wheat, you have 100 times more than you started with. But if you decide, no, I'm going to eat the grain, I'm going to eat our grain, I'm going to turn it into bread now, so I live till the spring. Now what do you do in the springtime? Okay, prayer, the prayer of the day. Loving God, help me keep my focus fixed on you as the center of my life. Bless my efforts to serve your kingdom and to share your love with others. Amen. So that's in the description, today's description. And where are we? 1507, almost done. Couple things left. Imagine you are the creator of a table. You're the craftsman to build a table, and upon the table will be the accomplishments of your life. And that when you're done, all that's left is the table and the accomplishments on it. What would you like the table to be like? Not the stuff on the table, the table. It needs to be big enough to hold the accomplishments, big enough and strong enough to hold the accomplishments. So our table is built upon 4 legs: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. Physical, fitness and health; mental, learning, remembering, communicating; emotional, if you can't control your emotions, don't worry, somebody else will, and they will probably take you out of the game. And spiritual, that which picks you up when you get knocked down, and you will get knocked down. Here it is the Christian belief that Jesus is the Messiah. For people who are not believers, you know what? Give it a good faith try for a week. Just follow along with what we're doing. Give it a faith try, and I think you'll see your life is better. Okay, Donna, I have someone for you in Nebraska prison. Good. Always interested, people in Nebraska prisons. Okay, Navy SEAL Maxim, Diana, or Charlene. Navy SEAL Maxim. Act such that yesterday was the only easy day. Correct. If you want to get from point A to point B, all you have to do is act such that yesterday was the only easy day. It's an automatic guarantee. You'll push yourself forward. You'll move a little bit further today than yesterday. And in today's, going back up to the top, in today's thing, get comfortable being uncomfortable is one way to do that. Lastly, if you're still here, that means God is not through with you yet. You still have more to do. There's a reason God hasn't brought you up to heaven with him for eternal bliss and happiness. And thank you, Diana. Can I have a cut, and cut? Thank you. Boom. See you in a while, Charlene.